Alright. I managed to sneak in pausing the recording at the exact perfect moment to not only make it completely invisible that I paused, and then I just completely could have been a secret, but nope. So yeah. I have reloaded on drinks. Oh, I was gonna talk about was I gonna talk about the open development part of Star Citizen? I think I was. Okay, so I've been following the project since 2019, and one thing is subscriber program. The subscriber program was supposed to be the money, was supposed to be, it was supposed to fund the open development things, the shows, like Inside Star Citizen, Star Citizen Live, and everything. Now, in general, like, the thing is, there is some element of, you know, hey, you need to, you know, like, it's an open development game, we gotta, you know, people have to know what's going on. And also, frankly, there are some people who are probably more interested in watching the game develop than the actual game itself. There probably genuinely are some people. And I think those people are probably kind of sad, because the development's kind of, like, the open development part of things is kind of shit right now. They did add the progress tracker, and there was some confusion about it because, you know, it shows when things are being worked on, but let's say that it shows, you know, a timeline of, you know, from of a ship from February to October, and you're like, oh, well, it's gonna be done in October then, right? Or at least that's the plan. No, it's the work is going to stop in October, and then they might pick it up if it's not done, and, you know, those kind of things. And if you, and like, that person is going to be working on some part of that ship, you know, from February to October, and if they don't, then that means that they are, if they take longer, which they probably will, because that's just how things end up being. I mean, they could go faster, you never know. But yeah, if they don't finish what they were supposed to finish, then, you know, that's going to have knock-on effects of either they need to then schedule time to finish the thing, or they need to continue it for, you know, even a few more days, maybe even, you know, a month, and then that's going to eat into the time with whatever they were scheduled to work on after. And, you know, like, there is some element there, like, you have to keep that kind of that stuff in mind. And of course, you know, also some element of, like, okay, well, we'll account for this, like, we're going to have you as a vehicle artist work on this, and we're going to leave a month between something you're scheduled, so if you need to take more time on something, then you can. And if you and if you do finish everything on time, then we'll give you like a side project that you can work on, basically in your downtime, if you don't need to do, if we don't need you for something else. That is a thing. That is a thing that they have talked about. And that might be a little bit of me interpreting some stuff, but yeah. What else? Oh, but yeah, the progress tracker, I mean, like, the thing is that they don't update it. My understanding is that there is a progress tracker for internal, like, reviews that management and directors and producers look at and use to judge things, and that is not the same progress tracker that we have, and I don't understand why. Like, because, and like, I mean, if it's open development, I don't need to know literally everything that's being worked on, okay? I don't, you know, I don't need to know, oh, like, you worked on, you know, changing the texture, on making like 15 different textures for soda cans, you know, or for canned goods or whatever. Like, I don't need to necessarily know that, that's not super important. Or these, like, background textures, or these cones or something. I mean, those are a good thing to show every once in a while, because just to remind people that, hey, this is a thing that, this is a thing that's being worked on, and this is a thing that these artists do. But, you know, like, if you're going to have a show specifically talking about stuff, I want to see the ships, I want to see the armor, I want to see the weapons, I want to see as many stages as can be produced, because there are going to be some limits on what, there are going to be limits on how much stuff can be recorded. Like, I really don't see it being a huge ask that, like, you know, as part of your no-go meeting, or part of your, like, performance review of whatever product, just show some, you know, have a few things, have a few, you know, photos, have a few videos, that can be taken and shown to the video team, you know, for promotional purposes. I don't see why that can't be a thing. For literally every ship. And every piece of content that goes through. And, I mean, it's more than ships, right? Because, and obviously features as well. But yeah, like, for instance, tell me the development of the Vault Prism that is getting released in 4.2, the new Vault energy shotgun. You can't, because they literally have never talked about it. They have literally never talked about it. I think maybe it showed up in the ISC, but they did not talk about it. It's not on the progress tracker, it's not on the progress tracker, it's not on any of the monthly reports. I think maybe, and I could be misremembering, I think maybe it shows up on the Galactipedia page, talking about, the Vault as a company. And yeah, like, that just seems, that makes so much, like, you know, I mean, like, I want to know about the history about the development about these things. I mean, for one thing, I think the, I initially heard when 4.2 was getting tested that, I heard that sorry, I'm just looking up a thing. Because I want to look at Paralives, which is a game that has a roadmap as well. And I want to see, because I think that roadmap, I mean, it doesn't go into like extreme detail. But the website, you can see there's a timeline of stuff on what people are working on every month. Development. Let's see. Oh my god, yeah, and, yeah, they've, ooh, okay. Hang on. I thought they have a different roadmap. This looked different. It's a whole thing. One thing that I really miss, are sprint reports for Star Citizen. It was just, hey, we're gonna spend like 5 seconds, we're gonna show you some concept art, we're gonna show you this thing, we're gonna show you a video of something, this is something that's in development, this is something that's being worked on. Like, and just, because I can't believe that there isn't stuff being worked on just in general, like like, I think every patch they've had a new weapon and they've had new armor, right? 4.1, I think it was 4.1, not 4.1.1. 4.1 had Wicklow, 4.1 had the tracker armor, I can't remember what it was called. The Queerness, tech heavy armor that was like bounty hunter armor, heavy tracker. 4.411 had and the parallax rifle, and then the so there was the tracker armor, heavy tracker armor, and the parallax. There was the DCP armor and the quartz. And I don't know, allegedly the DCP armor is different than the ADP armor, although I think they look extremely similar, and I need to see them side by side to really compare, but I digress. And I'm not sure if there is new armor for 4.2, but they've teased the tracker armor, or the stealth suit, which everybody's calling the sniper armor, which, oh, how easily we forget things. But the stealth armor and the shotgun, so that's something. So, like, there is at least content being worked on, which is the thing they said they were doing, right? And features just aren't necessarily in a huge focus. Part of the problem, though, I mean, like, really, I do think this is a giant-ass problem, is that, like, part of the thing is that they genuinely aren't showing, they aren't like, they're giving us a new thing and then not really like, and then they just like are completely forgetting about it the next patch. And at least that's where their mindset is at. In 4.1.1 they introduced the mercenary script, the mercenary guild script and the council script that you could trade for stuff, and then they changed it, or they made it so, and then their initial plans for 4.2 were that the trades you could, use that for, they were going to take them out and make that entire thing that they added, and a bunch of those missions that are like, I mean, they're good on their own, I guess, but the whole point of them is that, hey, you can get mercenary script from them, and yeah, they were going to take that out and make that completely useless, and it's like, what the fuck? And I mean, genuinely, that's like after a month of it being available. Like, that's not, and like, there's something to be said about like seasonal, about Wicklow being like a seasonal sort of thing where, depending on what is the hot item, like Wicklow wants hot items that they can use, that they can trade, that they can build with. Mercenary script should always be in season, or should always be in demand, right? Maybe the Hathor group, maybe the Hathor station, or the Hathor loop thing, resources are hot this month, and then the Stormbreaker items are hot the next month, and they rotate. And, they rotate maybe with some other events as well. Maybe, I mean, fuck, like, maybe bring Xenothreat back and have, one of the trade things be Xenothreat, specifically Xenothreat armor. And it's just like, hey, like, collect these helmets, collect these chest pieces, and you can get favors from it. Collect these and you can get, we'll exchange them for weapons or something.
Do you need something?
I don't know. So, and then, I mean, like, don't even get me started on the sub-flare. So, like, the sub-flare is, like, there's, like, there needs to be a reason why you do the subscription that's supposed to pay for these things, and part of the problem is that they just have not been giving great stuff. And, like, I mean, there's some element to say, I mean, there's some part of me that's like, clothing just doesn't make any sense right now. Nobody gives a shit about clothing in game. Eventually they will, hopefully, but like, clothing as a sub-flare item just doesn't really make that much sense. Weapons, armor, ship paints. Ship paints are kind of dubious, because what if it's, I mean, like a combat, like, it's not just a matter of like, oh, if you want a combat paint, a mining paint, a salvage paint, it's like, no, I mean, well, okay, you want a combat paint, there's so many combat ships, and some of them are just not going to apply to me at all, so that's a whole thing. Yeah. Until next time, have a good day. Great day, even. Chowskis.